I am Dr. Vijay Kr Tungar, and I have spent a lot of time in the medical field, and I have seen the diseases changing from infective to non-infective to the lifestyle diseases at present. And the main reason we are facing all these lifestyle diseases is the change in our behavior, change in our day-to-day curriculum. In the early days, I used to see people really actually exercising, doing a lot of physical work. But now that much physical work is not being done, and as a result, we are facing a lot of lifestyle diseases. What are lifestyle diseases? Basically, they are as a result of not doing enough exercise, eating something that is not really required to be eaten, and simply because we want to show off how much we eat, what sort of high quality food we eat. But you see, all these things lead to a lot of complications in our body. I would like to say that I have noticed this particularly because I am living in a Vivekananda Vidyalaya campus, and I see a lot of children coming and going. And I realize that there are a lot of children who are overweight, obese. Lifestyle disease is nothing but obesity, hypertension, diabetes, and all the resultant complications of that. So what I would like to say again is, when I see so many children with obesity and overweight, I am certainly struck that I should do something about it. What can we do? First is make the parents aware that their children are overweight or obese, and then tell them what are the complications of overweight and being obese. First and foremost thing is, if you are obese and overweight, you can have diabetes, early onset diabetes, which we see so often these days. You can have hypertension. You can have heart attacks. You must have read in papers and newspapers that there are so many cases which are occurring at the early age, heart attack cases at 40, 35. What is the reason? It is because of these changes in habit that we are seeing. So what I have done is that I have undertaken a project to survey the children or the students of 7th, 8th, 9th standard to find out how much obesity is there, how much overweight is there. And surprisingly, I have found nothing less than 19 to 20% of the children being overweight. And after talking to the school administration, they have agreed that they will undertake a program whereby we will find out the children, we will do counseling, we will give them advice on their exercise, on their diet, and also monitor their, you can say blood sugar, their blood pressure, and their other activities. So if we do this constantly or consecutively for 2 or 3 years and take a lot of schools into our gambit, then I think we can find out certainly what we can do. Because you see, as you know, I work for Vivekananda. Vivekananda, one thing that is there is man making, nation building. So we have to make him fit and to see that he becomes a good citizen of India to build up the nation. Now you must be wondering why I am doing this, because this whole thing started me from my grandson, who was quite good and fit, but in the COVID time, he became rather overweight. He was sitting, doing everything online, not exercising. And I told him, what are you doing? So he says, okay, so what should I do, grandfather? He calls me Abba. I said, what should? Then I advised him a lot of things, and he said, okay, I'll follow. And fortunately, he has now come down to his normal weight, and everything is good. So this sort of counseling and advice is required. Now, how do you measure obesity or overweight? It is basically dependent on our body mass index, BMI as it is called. And the BMI is found out from the weight in kilos divided by height in centimeters squared. And if your BMI is between 7.5 and 25, you are normal weight. If it is below 17.5, you are underweight. If it is above 25, you are overweight. And if it is above 29, you are really obese. And what I have found in these 7th, 8th and 9th children whom I carried out the survey is that almost 22% are overweight and the rest 8% are really obese. So what, with the principal, cooperating very well, we have decided to call all these children, their parents and the teachers also involved. And we have set up a program whereby we will tell them the consequences of overweight or obese, like diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, neurological disorders, and diabetes itself causing kidney failure, liver failure, neurological complications. All these things are to be really, really looked into if we want to have a healthy, earning citizenship in our country. So, we have got the help of a nutritionist who will advise these children on their diet. We have got a sports teacher or a physical instructor who will advise them on their exercise, and most of all, their teachers will tell them how to study. In all these things, what are involved is when you eat, what you should eat, how you should eat, when you should eat, and the most important thing is what you should not do when you are eating. Students are most impressed by the teachers. It is when the teachers tell them something that they listen to very well. Parents are very poor as far as these things are concerned. They cannot influence their children, and I would suggest that more and more children and teachers and everybody should take a little more trouble to curtail this obesity or overweight. Well, I would like to advise here that those who are really interested and are stimulated by whatever I am saying, they can go to not necessarily a nutritionist, but somebody who knows about diet, particularly what sort of diet a child has to take, what sort of a tiffin box he should take with him to the school, what should he eat in the morning, what should he eat in the evening, when should he eat in the night. All these things, when regulated, and when the quantity is also regulated, and the exercise part, I think the physical teachers, physical instructors in the school are the best people to advise them. If that is not possible, then if all these things are not possible, then they can go to a doctor and find out what sort of diet they should have, what kind of exercise they should have. And I would suggest best exercise would be to do just regular everyday morning running for about 20 minutes or 25 minutes, and restrict fat intake in the sense of ghee, let's say butter, and basically I would advise not to eat too much of milk product like cheese, butter, ice cream. Ice cream is one of the worst food that you can have to put on weight. So with this sort of advice, I would suggest that please take care of your children. Let them not be overweight, let them not be obese, and let them be fit. Because if they are fit, then they'll be able to do good in their studies, they'll be able to do good in their jobs, and everything will be quite fine. Nice. Thank you.